Alright, so here we have another game that was released back in 1994 called Illusion of Gaia. This is probably one of the greatest games I have ever played, and for the price, it's usually around 20 bucks, or maybe even less. Illusion of Gaia is a game that, you know, a lot of people actually underestimate this game. Not based on how many people have actually played it, but you'd be surprised how many people are confused by the story of this game. And being somebody that actually, again, this is kind of off topic, but I make like science videos here on YouTube, talking about like how everything's infinite, you know, evolution is real, and pretty much like everything evolved from something or somewhat of another, you know, stuff like that. But when you really play Illusion of Gaia, it's a strange coincidence that the game kind of talks about that very same thing. And today I'm going to be introducing you to probably one of the greatest games of all time if you've never played it. Okay, so what we see now, it kind of looks like Final Fantasy V's like world map. The world was in the age of exploration. Looking for new lands, man uncovered the relics of the ancient cultures. Pretty much talking about how, you know, so much time can pass in one area, and essentially you would still learn all these things about the same planet that everybody else sought to have figured out. But yet it was only one piece of many questions. As time passed, many legends begin to surface. Which is true, that's also what happens in our world. A legend from each ruin, a legend from each culture. Various relics were found in the ruins. So many questions, so few answers. One of the legends told of the strange statues in the shapes of spirits. What was a spirit to the ancient people? The ruins don't tell us. The Tower of Babel. The people who entered the ruins searching for wealth went in and were never seen again. Some said there were traps to protect the treasure. Others said it was a curse. No one thought these ruins would bring about disaster. And so we take place on planet Earth. Alright, so essentially what this game is about is, like, it talks about how, like, there's life everywhere on all these planets, and, well, pretty much life on Earth, at least. But it also implies that there's so many different planets everywhere else. Oh, did I delete that already? I must have. So, Illusion of Gaia was a game that was published by Enix, and I forget the company that actually made it. I think they changed their name at some point. That's why I'm having a hard time remembering like who they are nowadays. So anyways, we play as a young boy by the name of Will, who goes on a quest to find his... he pretty much talks in like dialogue, giving you like a history of what happens. As you can see right now, a time has passed since I went to the Tower of Babel with my father. My father and his party met with disaster. Somehow I made it back to South Cape, which is pretty far in this case. I still can't believe my father is gone. I'll never believe it. When I grow up, I'll be an explorer and see the world. Somewhere I will meet my father. That's all for today's lesson. You four, do your best not to fall behind. Demons have appeared outside the town. If you go very far, you must go with your parents. I'll see you guys at the usual place. I have to go home first. I'll see you guys later there. If you don't hurry home, your mother will think that you were kept after school. Like always, the cave at the seashore. Okay, so Will's a really interesting guy. You know, he can, as you can see, he uses a flute as a weapon. But he also... This is probably the most interesting part of this game. This is what really separates this game from the rest. You see this door right here? Will has magical powers. He can see things that nobody else can. And this is a deity by the name of Gaia, the source of all life. I will help you on your journey. Only you with the dark power can see this space. You are the chosen one. In the dark space, you can record a travel journey. Stop there before you depart. Record what's happened so far. Yes, then go. So, essentially, he proves that deities do exist, and yet he doesn't, nobody else knows this. Which is actually pretty damn cool. Some of these games are, this game's actually fairly difficult too. Jumping off rooftops again. You look like a fast runner. Let's see your inventory. So essentially the game pretty much talks about like what goes on in the world. And as soon as you play this game, you understand what this game's about. Pretty much talks about, you know, life in other cultures, talks about life in general. And for the most part, it also talks about things that humans don't really know. Like, you know, like, so for example, I mean, like, how does this game relate? I just went right through it, it's funny. How does this game relate to real life? Well, you could essentially say that this game is pretty much based on, like, the origins of life, in a sense. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of people, they played this game and they don't really fully understand, like what the game designers were really implying by its story. The game designers were implying that, you know, not only is there so many things that we don't know, but like even on this planet, you know, you could say that, you know, like we humans could be like alone. Well, it might seem like there's only life on this planet and all we know is life on this planet. But again, if there's like cosmologists, you know, people who study space, essentially people that have figured out, you know, there's so many things out there we don't know that exist right now. So like, for example, like the universe is dependent on us. Or no, the universe, humans are dependent on the universe because the universe came first. And, you know, it's subjectable if you want to say you believe in any deities, supernatural beings. But what's really for sure, though, is that there's so many things we don't know that, you know, just in general, just makes it look like a really, you know, it just really kind of adds to the mystery. You know, you're going to get more questions than you do answers. And it's just like all these answers that you find, it's just like, wow, you know, all these things could have existed that we never knew about. You know, like there could be like planets out there with life on them right now, and you know, if we were like take something like Star Trek for example, like where you were able to go to like other planets, or if you play the Star Ocean series, which is another series I highly recommend, you would look at that and be like, wow, man, you know, that would be pretty cool to just like fly, like just to go to another planet and like again maybe not interfere with their lives. But like go there and just like say, wow, you know, like meet these people and just like the fact that they actually live life in their own aspects and do their own thing and whatnot. So it's really cool because that's essentially what this game gets at. Is I can't pull it up. He's referring to a jar that he can't pull up yet because he's in the wrong fishing location. There was one more treasure in this house. I'm trying to think where it's at. So these things are called red jewels. If you give them to the merchant man over there, he'll essentially give you a. Oh, I know where it's at. It's in the school bell. You're like an idiot. You're like an idiot. Alright, so I can't enter through there, apparently. But what I will do... See, Will loves going to school. And then leaving. So if you go over here... There it is, in the school tower, though. So essentially what we can do now is we'll go in here. So just talk about how this is a hangout and they all have this ability, see? Gonna win for sure. What is it? I'm playing cards. Wait a moment. I monk rushed in with a desperate look on his face. The Princess of Edward Castle has ran away. They say she came to South Cape. That's all? You came in with such a rush to tell me something really big had happened? It's probably that spoiled girl Carla, the one you like so much. Liar! Maybe the soldiers will come here looking for her. The soldiers from Edward Castle look so cool, I want a steel helmet too. And I thought everybody would love the surprise. I'm not interested in girls. I like adventures better. Well, get over here and sit next to Eric. Everybody's here. What should we do today? I want to see Will's mystical powers. You can't see it? You haven't seen it? He can move things without touching them. He moved the statue that's in the corner of the cave. Will, show me again. Oh, it moved. No matter how many times I see it, it still amazes me. But why? This is what I love of this quote. He says, but why can you move the statue when you can't move anything else? If I could only do that. I don't think the game designers would let me. Pick a card. I'll pick the 4 cards down there. Put the 4 cards down here. Some kind of psychic power thing. If I don't know about it, I think it's magic. Most people have 5 senses: hearing, taste, smell, and touch. I think Will's power is some kind of a 6th sense. Let's play one more game. By the time you left the cave. So essentially what you have to do is just, you know, you essentially just gotta wait until the game decides to, the guy that's down there, this guy right here, once he pulls this up, then you find the red jewel. You just enter in and out, and you'll get it. So essentially, this game is pretty story-driven, but at the same time, though, when you finally do get to go to like the dungeons, you fight like monsters in like a real-time strategy. And oink oink. Yep, there's pigs too. So he pushes me out of the way. Pamela, you shouldn't snore at strangers. Is this your house? Yeah. You look a little shabby. Well, excuse me. Your mother and father not here, huh? Is this a picture of your parents? I know Ullman, the explorer. They say he was lost. He'll come back someday. No, I'll be sad if that were me. I'm sorry. Anyway, is there a piano here? No, there isn't, but Grandma Lola is a great singer. They're singing upstairs now. They have such loud voices. They're singing right now, are they? Oh, that's cool. I'll come home when I sing opera, I lose track of time. Dinner's not ready yet. Oh my, I haven't sung like this in a long time. Fell in love with her voice, that's why I married her. Oh, you bring up such a thing. Well, you shouldn't be surprised at that. The girl who was singing a little ago. No. What are you saying? If I don't take you home, I'll lose my head. What do I care if you lose your head? I have nothing better to do than chase these town. Taking you home with the princess. I just love how he just grabs her and, like, you know, she doesn't even move. She just slides back. I feel as if we've met before. We're good friends. And this is another thing that kind of gets confusing. I mean, okay, this game, I won't spoil it too much, what happens, but when you beat this game, though, you're going to be confused as hell, like, what the hell just happened. No doubt about that. Many demons are crawling around outside of time. Didn't your parents warn you? No, they didn't warn me about anything. It's a prison. That night, Will dreamed that Kara took a trip around the world. See, now it's like the game is just surprising me with what's going on here. Bring the crystal ring from Omen's things. That's pretty. Even though Will had never heard it before, it seemed oddly familiar. Lola's melody. Ah, such a great song. Oh no! I'll just be careful. So as you can see, the game takes place on like different continents and all that. And once you go to certain areas, you can't go back like once you leave like specific maps. So it's always a good idea, like when you go to the dungeons, to try and get everything you can and then just be done with it. So. So the game kind of, like, it'll be a while before you really get to like the first dungeon, so, sort of. So it's always a good idea to just like as you play this game, kind of just like figure out like what's going on and then just enjoy it for what it is. Okay, I got a red jewel. Your old nickname. I'm at a loss. My father is trying to take something terrible once important. I've escaped from the castle before, now they won't let me get out. Recently something very strange has happened in the castle. My mother has hired a famous hunter. I feel very scared. My mother and father seem to have changed. Please come back, Will. And he just throws him this way. So essentially this game is, well, let's be honest, you know, if you play this game for as long as I have, you'll enjoy it. It's fun, it's addictive. I don't know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if you can actually find the crystal ring. I've tried to find it and see if anything different happened, but as far as I'm aware, the same thing happens. So, right now we have to just essentially wait, because we're in prison right now. I love how it says it's locked, so we gotta essentially wait for further instructions. Now, please excuse me while I check the enclosed instruction book. But yeah, that essentially concludes like how this game works, though. It's really fun if you haven't played it, and The game's story is very interesting. There it is. These blocks remind me of The Legend of Zelda. I don't know why. I started to sleep. Speaks from the flute. You were a cute child, but now you've grown up. Isn't Grandma Lola's pie delicious? I'm sure, Dad. Where are you? I can't tell you now. I want you to save me. This? No, it's the secret of that stone. Power of the crystal is combined there. Prove to be your ally. You might make a pilgrim to the ruins of the world to find the mystic statues. The closer you get to the crystal, no time. The flute disappears. Carlos Peg. There in prison. It's a terrible fate what my father has done to a prisoner in the prison of silk and gold. I will leave the castle forever. You will also be free. You have the key. That's how you also know you have like a really important item, because you'll hear that and the game will not let you skip the text. But it will, however, make you open up the item screen and get rid of these items. Okay, there we go. And there we go. I'm going to save my game. And we met Gaia again. I am Gaia. When you defeat all the enemies in an area, you will get a jewel that increases your abilities. Not a red jewel. Find the demons and destroy them. And then go. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you've never played this game, again, I highly recommend it. The game's confusing as hell. I got somewhat of a complete walkthrough here on YouTube if you're looking for a full one. I will be coming back and doing a Let's Play of this game. This game is awesome, and you should play it. So hopefully you enjoyed this.